Right, it's now the start of day 3 on the coast to coast. It's the 25th and it's just gone 20 past 9. I stayed at Thorney Howe. I think they market themselves as a independent hostel. I've never stayed in any type of hostel before, and if they're all like that, then I'll be staying at some more. So it's quite nice. The Thorney Howe hostel is near enough. It's only about 20 metres off the trail, so that's quite nice. I didn't realise it was that close when I booked it. The weather today is clouds on the top of the mountains. Clouds on the top. I think it's meant to be clearing up. And then about 2 o'clock it's going to be, I don't think rain, but clouds coming back in. And then after that clearing up again. Well, at least that's to the weather report anyway, so we'll see. But the weather reports I've been doing haven't been for, of course, the tops of the mountains. They've been for Grasmere, Patterdale, places like that. Now today I've got quite a lot of climbing to do. I've got to climb out of here, then drop down into Patterdale. Then I've got a big climb out of there, because ideally I want to wild camp at Haweswater. But we'll see. We'll see how far I get. Right, oh yeah, one other thing. I just noticed I've got the starting of a blister on one of my foot. So I've put some moleskin on it. Can't feel it at all at the moment. Put some moleskin on it. We'll see if it develops into a proper full-blown blister or not. But if it does, I'll be popping it. Right, let's crack on. Right, that's the way I've just come. Down the trail there. Just down there, just around to the left there is Grasmere. That's where I've come from. Time's only 10 o'clock, so I haven't been walking an hour yet, but it's straight up. I've come up. There's the trail as I'm looking forwards. You can see there up into the clouds, and that's a trail right in the middle of the screen there where I'll be going. Oh, and I'm sweating already. Here goes, let's do some more. There's Grisdale Tarn. I've just come from the other side of that, in the mist, come along this path. There are different routes down. You can go up over there, which I believe is St Sunday's Crag. I'm not doing that, I'm going down the valley, down to Patterdale, take an easy route, as I've got a bit of a long day ahead of me. Right. Right, well, I've just left Patterdale. I stopped off in the hotel there. The hotel is right as you come out of the off the track. Well, actually, the coast to coast goes right past the front door of the Patterdale Hotel. Well, it's a hotel in Patterdale anyway, so I'll stop there, had something to eat, pint of Coca-Cola, and they're heading up towards Angletarn. And you probably can't see it, but there's goes right up there. Right, better get on. Right, this is Angletarn. The walk up from Patterdale wasn't too bad, in fact. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but there again, it might be because there's no sun, there's a cloud cover, and it's a nice cool breeze, so it made walking up here quite nice, really. And the path goes along here and along around the other side. And I believe that's the way I'm going up there. Or up to there anyway, then I think over the other side. But I have to see. I know for sure I'm going around the other side of the lake, the other side of the tarn here, but yeah. Right, time is now, it's almost 3 o'clock, so I better get on. Right, I'm on top of Kitski Pike at the moment. this maybe on my last bit of recording before I get in my tent, because I'm just starting to feel a few drops of rain. Hopefully it holds off. It's just around there. You can just see the clouds starting to come in. But it's been a lovely day again today. Give you a little spin around. It's been a lovely day again today. Hasn't rained at all day. It's been a bit warm really to begin with, but I'm actually glad for the cloud cover, because cooler temperatures made it easier to go, and I quite enjoyed today really. I'm heading down, if I get this lined up right, down there behind me, down to Haweswater, which hopefully you can see just the corner of there, where I don't know if it's the first camping spot I find I'll stick to, or I might walk along the side of the of Haweswater a bit until I find somewhere. I was planning on camping about halfway up, but I'll see what the time is. The time is now 4:30. I don't want to leave it too late. Like I say, I don't know when it's going to start raining. Quick update on my foot. The blister on my heel, I put the moleskin on it this morning. I haven't felt it at all really. I have now got a little, I don't think it's a blister, a little rub or something on the ball of that foot now, but I don't think it's anything really. I think it's probably just a slight bit of rubbing. When I put my tent up, I'll check it out, and I'll let you know how I'm getting on with that. But if it's the same thing again, where it looks like it might be a blister starting to pop up, I'll put some a moleskin on it, or some compeed or something, and I'll see how I get on. Right, let's get on. Yeah, I've got not too far to go now. It's all downhill, and the last bit is quite steep going downhill. So I'm glad I got the trekking poles. Right, I better sign off and get moving. Right, that's it. The end of day 3. I'm here pitched up at Haweswater. This is the trail right in front of me here. I'm not too far from the trail, but couldn't be helped. And I actually walked down, where's it, this grassy field here, came down along. I'm going to have to go back down there to get some water. I'll catch it from the river going into into Haweswater. I was walking along this path, and I actually carried on walking back along there a little way, only about 10 minutes, and I bumped into a couple who were coming the other way, and I asked them if there's anywhere to wild camp further on, any decent areas, and they said there wasn't, right until you get to the other end of the Haweswater, and then even then they weren't sure. So because the time is now, it's just gone 6 o'clock, I thought I'd better play it safe, and in the woods here I've pitched up. I'll show you quick. That is it. It's not a perfect pitch, but it's far better than the first night. So I've got more space. It is on a slope, but that couldn't be helped either. The bathtub floor, I've pitched it higher than I normally do. So this bathtub floor was normally lower, but I pitched it a bit higher. Doesn't matter. But it's nice and tall. And I've got all 4 doors open at the moment, so you can see right through it. It's still got the bug net mesh in there, but all 4 of these sides, 1, 2, other side 3, 4, all come down. But I don't know, I might shut them all, because there was no condensation on the first night when I used it, so might shut them all. I might leave one open, I'm not sure yet. And a handy tip to anybody who has one of these tents, this is Zpacks Duplex, and I can't take credit for this because I saw somebody else was mentioned it on YouTube, but on the end bits here, you use this guy rope to give you just yourself a little bit more headroom in there. Not that you particularly need it, 'cause it's quite a long tent, but just to give yourself a little bit more, if you put a stick under the guy rope like that, it pulls it sort of this angle instead of down that way, so it does help just a little bit. But like I say, you don't need, it's not particularly a worry, because it's quite long in there. I'll show you later. I'll put my sleeping mat down, and then you'll see the length. But no, very happy with this tent. Nice and light. I think the weight with the stakes, because they don't sell it with the pegs. I think with the pegs as well comes to 630 grams, is it? I think 630. So I'm over the moon with that. And of course, it uses my trekking poles for tent poles. Ideal. Right. I'm now going to walk back along the trail, the other side of this wall, here, along there, back and get some water. So I'm running a little bit low, and then I'll get a coffee on the go, I think. Right, I'm going to try and show you just how spacious it is in here. I've got my Thermarest Neo Air blown up at the moment, and if I put it in the middle of the tent going up and down, you can see that there's still a bit of room, and you've got masses of headroom here, and it's exactly the same down the bottom. You've got the same amount of room to the end of the tent, and you've got the same amount of room down the headroom down the bottom as well. Just to show you, if I push the sleeping mat right the way down to the bottom, up the top now you've got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 hands width to the side. And bearing in mind that if I lowered the trekking poles down a bit, that would make the bathtub floor go down a bit, and it would give you a bit more room again. It'd give you even more room. But I've got it raised quite high, bit of air circulation underneath, and I've shut up one side, so you can see outside there you've got like a little porch area. This side I've got my boots outside and the water filter at the moment, and I've just got one door shut, one open at the moment. But yeah, there's plenty of room for my sleep mat, which will probably go there, and my rucksack. So this is a proper, I would class, 2-person tent, backpacking tent. Not like a lot of them where you know, like my old tent, it's not a 2-person at all. It was like one man and his extremely small girlfriend. But this one, I'll say, is a proper 2-man tent, because you could put your rucksacks at the end, either end of your sleeping mat, or you've both got 2 doors either side, and you could put your rucksacks out there even, because it's all under cover. Right, there you go. Right, I'll just try and take you through today where I've been. Right, I started off Grasmere, and it's even got it marked on here, Thorny How. That's the hostel that I stayed. From there, up across the road, and here you got a choice which way to go. In hindsight, the right hand side way would have been an easier way. It would have been a long and steady climb, but the way I went, it was quite steep all the way up to there, and then it was easy around the top bit. But this bit here was steep. But this way here is more of a gradual climb. Right, so along there, and then I can turn the page. We're down here. So like before, I say I came up this way, but that way would have been easier. Got down to Grisdale Tarn, and leaving Grisdale Tarn, you've got 3 options really. You can go over Dollywagon Pike and all the way to Helvellyn. I wasn't going to do that. I've been along there before when I was bagging the Wainwrights. Here we go, again back at the Tarn. Or you can go over St Sunday Crag and all the way down. I've been up there before collecting the Wainwrights, so I took the easy route, which takes you down in the valley. It's a nice easy, decline all the way down to Patterdale. And the Patterdale, the route comes out right behind, I think it's called the Patterdale Hotel. And I stopped in there, pint of Coca-Cola and a toasted sandwich before the climb. Now this climb here, nothing to worry about really, because it's going diagonal up the hill. So it's quite a steep hill, but it's going diagonal, so it's not too bad at all really. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be anyway, but that might have been because I've just had some refreshment down here and I've regained some strength. But anyway, I wasn't too bad at all the way up there. Over the page. All the way over here. Angle tarn. Past that. The knot. That was a steep bit going up there towards the knot. I found that a bit knackering. Up to the knot and down there. Now this is where you've got to make sure that you do take the the left hand path there. If you don't, you're going completely the wrong way up to High Street. So make sure. And there's a cairn there, and somebody has written in black marker pen on one of the stones in the cairn, coast to coast that way. But that is quite an important one, because I have heard of people who've missed that turning and have ended up High Street. So you want to make sure you get that bit right. But anyway, from there, Kitstead Pike. From Kitstead Pike was all the way downhill, And when we get to here, it does get quite steep, quite tough on the old knees. Down to the lake. Now, my plan was to walk along Haweswater for a little while, but I walked along probably to about here somewhere, and I met a couple coming the other way, and I asked them if there was anywhere to camp further along, and they said they weren't sure. They might be at the other end of the lake, but they weren't sure at all. And I remember seeing in the woods here a not bad spot, so that's where I am now. So I turned around, walked back to the woods, and that's where I am now. So if I show you about the door again, it's quite. What time is it? It's 20 to 8 at the moment, so it's quite bright outside. But in the woods here, it's quite dark. But you can see there that the wall is like knocked down in quite a load of places, and there was a fence up here, but there's fence posts, but there's no wire in it, and a lot of people have used these woods for wild camping in. You can see evidence of it everywhere. That's where I am tonight.